At Adidas, the Futurecraft 4D line is going places. There have been an awful lot of little changes, little innovations in the line that have moved it away from being a kind of elite, sort of specialized, expensive, let's be honest, expensive sort of thing. Now, what I'm talking about is originally we saw an awful lot of ZX 4000 4Ds dropping, which came in at like 45,000 yen, which is about $450. It's a huge amount of money to pay for a pair of sneakers. But then recently we saw things like this, ding, the Ultra Boost 4Ds, which I drooled over, something chronic. They're an absolutely iconic and beautiful sneaker as far as I'm concerned. I can't wait to see those kind of things hit stores. Don't know how much they're going to cost. 4D usually costs a little bit more, so wouldn't surprise me if they are a little bit more expensive. But we also saw last week, I brought you a video where Pharrell Williams and his human race line tied up with the 4Ds and the 3D printed midsole with Futurecraft. And another link, ding, to that video right there. So the 4D guys, something that I've looked at the channel a lot. I've loved them since, and I love talking about them because I get to put up this picture here, which is the original Daniel Arsham ones, which I love, an absolute grail for me. I was checking out on eBay, I was checking out on eBay recently, and I was just, oh man, I love that sneaker. So it's great for me to be able to do that. But anyway, I've loved the 4D line, the Futurecraft line, the 3D printed midsole line. And I always say, whenever I talk about them, there's just been one or two missteps like these kiths. I often talk about them and say that they don't always quite get it right. But here we are with the next evolution in it, which is called the 4D Run. And it looks like they're bringing that 3D printed midsole, that Futurecraft 4D technology, and they're putting it into more accessible sneakers. I don't know the price point on these, and I might be wrong in that. They might be just as exclusive and just as expensive as things like the ZX 4000s, but to me, it looks like they'll be more accessible, and that is a great thing. And that's what we're going to be looking at today as we look at the Adidas Futurecraft Run 4D in coral and coral black. This is the Tokyo Bara 23 Sneaker Channel, Tokyo Bara 23 Sneaker Channel des. Mainichi Yapsuno no de, mainichi mite kudasai. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. I also bring you some of the rarest sneakers in the world on a Sunday, like super mega rare sneakers in the world. And we play this game from Tuesday to Saturday that has a connection to those rare sneakers, but since today is Monday, there won't be that game, but at least I can put a link, ding, to the playlist where you can find those rare sneakers, because it says, just honestly, if you think you know rare sneakers, go look at that and tell me if you know rare sneakers, because like yesterday we had the Oregon Duck Air Jordan 5 greens at the channel, and casually Shoe Butter, the guy who brings me those sneakers, was like, oh, I also have the black pair, and you're just like, oh man. So anyway, the rare sneakers in the world in that playlist. Tuesday through Saturday we play a little game, and then Sunday those sneakers in hand at the channel, something to look forward to. And if that's your thing, if you're interested in sneakers, if you like daily sneaker news, if you like looking at rare sneakers, the rarest sneakers in the world, then you should definitely subscribe to the channel. So please do hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. If you have, thank you very much. And also like the video, man alive, it's important to like a YouTube video. It has ramifications, so please do ensure that you hit that like button down below. And as we are here in Tokyo, Japan, I do see at the start of every single one of my videos, 登録よろしくお願いします。あとは下のいいねをクリックすると助かるので、その2点をよろしくお願いします。But anyway, enough about all of that kind of stuff, about rare sneakers and subscriptions and all those kind of things. Let's actually have a look at these guys. So there are two colorways dropping. Originally we saw the first one, which was the coral, but then the second one was coral black. Now what I'll do is, behind me here, hopefully I'll be flipping between the two, and you'll be able to see the difference between the two. But I'm going to stay with just the coral, and we'll come back to the black, back to black. We'll come back to the black ones later. But first, for now, we're looking at the coral one only, and there are a lot of points on this sneaker to look at. And one of my statements that I'm going to make, and this is controversial, I'm making the statement that these sneakers at least the run part, don't know about the 4D part, but the run part of it are a direct challenge to the Nike Pegasus. That's my statement. Nike do a really good job of providing running shoes with very little going on the upper. And by that, what I mean is, basically, when it comes to running, less is best. Runners want light shoes. They want the stripped back. They don't want add-ons. Like if you think of Balenciagas, nobody's running a marathon in a pair of Balenciagas, although I wonder if I should do that. Man alive, wouldn't that be a gimmick to run a marathon in a pair of Balenciagas? I wonder if it would destroy your feet. Anyway, runners like their shoes stripped back. They like them light, so that they can get more out of their run, and with less going on and less gimmicky things going on here. And if you think of the Pegasus line, the Nike Pegasus line, very stripped back, very light, very simple. And then what we're looking at here with these 4D runs is exactly that. You've got a very, very simple stripped back upper. There's not much going on. The 3D, the three stripe branding on the side is very, very simple. It's not a cage. It doesn't add weight, doesn't add like rub or a different sort of torque into the sneaker at all. Of course, around the back, there is a little bit of additional kind of material going on, because that needs to be there for support, but otherwise it's stripped right back. Now, of course, when you strip a sneaker right back, you run the risk of it becoming too plain. And the way they get around that is with that upper knit on there, having that sort of two-tone in sort of a deeper pink and a lighter pink to give that coral effect on there. But don't mistake that with gimmick or weight or additional material elements. All that is the patterning and not the actual physical construction of the sneaker. What is the physical construction of the sneaker is the upper midsole outsole combination, which I love on these corals. The color of the upper, with that standard lime green 3D printed midsole, and then on the outsole you've got that similar to the coral color of the upper again. I think they've done a great job with those three. They work really, really well together, and they complement each other really, really nicely. It was one of the things I liked about those Pharrell Williams Human Race sneakers I talked about earlier, was that combination from upper to midsole to outsole that they did really well, which I think they do really well here. What I don't think they do well on is the laces. I think they're the wrong color of laces for this sneaker. They're too much of a popping orange, and they could have gone with something. If they wanted contrast, a completely different color would have been better. Or a similar color to get that kind of sort of solid feel to the sneaker. But this is what the Japanese call chutohampa, which means kind of midway or halfway, or not really one or the other. And that's where I see these laces. I don't think they're right for the sneaker. They're kind of chutohampa. They're sort of halfway between, in contrast and complementing the sneaker, so that they don't do either. So I think a different pair of laces would have been a good idea on these guys. But then if we go back to switching it up again between the corals and then the coral blacks, just for a couple of minutes, and then we'll stop doing that now. And you can see we're back. We're on to the black ones. Basically, that upper that I talked about is the only thing that stays the same on these guys. Anything on there that isn't the upper has changed. The laces are now black, the lining is now black, that heel counter I talked about that gives you the support around your ankle and your heel, black. The three stripe branding on the side is now in black, but most importantly is that 3D printed midsole is also in black, and then the outsole to go with that is in black. I think they kind of could have kept that peachy coloured outsole from the coral ones, but the black midsole on the black outsole is absolutely fire as well. So I do dig that, and I do go for that. I think that's a cool variant, a cool colorway to bring out in this sneaker. It's hard for me to say which of the two that I like. I think the black one has a bit too much black on it, but the coral one, those laces just don't really do it for me, but you can swap laces out quite easily. Even actually, when I think about it, white laces would have looked good on the coral ones, so it would be pretty easy just to swap out a white lacing on those guys, and that would do it. They're both really fire. I mean, anything with a 3D printed midsole is a cool thing to look at, and it'll be really interesting to see where the price point goes on these, because so far anything from Futurecraft and the 4D line has been very, very expensive. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with these sneakers, but they are a pop-in looking sneaker, a really fire looking sneaker, and I really, you know, anything with that 3D printed midsole, I just love to be able to talk about it at the channel and to bring it to you guys. So so that's what we did today. Today we looked at that sneaker, look at the Adidas Futurecraft 4D Run that will be dropping. It says keep an eye out for them is what they're saying as far as drop dates go. So it'll be interesting to see what comes down the line with those guys. For now though, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys very much for checking out my content, dropping that subscribe, hitting that like, giving me a comment, all those kind of things that help my channel to grow. Really appreciate it as we move past that 1,000 subscriber mark and as we keep building on into this 2020, the year of the Tokyo Olympics. For now though, time for me to sign off, but as I do this every single day, that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.